5. The time is 9 a.m. We'll let the record reflect that all supervisors are present at roll call. Madam Chairwoman.
Okay, so we're going to start the meeting. Remember, conversations, if you're having them, have them outside, please. We'll be respectful for everyone on both sides. And when someone else is talking, let them speak and not interrupt everybody. Okay, with that being said, public comments. Does anybody have a public comment? Come up and state your name, please.
My name is Michelle Murray. Good morning. Basically, I have a few questions today that I feel like the board should answer to myself and the community as a concerned member of this community. I'd first like to ask why Phil Olive chose to do business on behalf of Stony Brook with 4 Fence and Gate. From the beginning, I have questioned the logic behind hiring a company that wasn't established because there was no verifiable business reputation or website at the time back in February. There's not even a public phone number listed in the white pages or online. Simply speaking, how was this business even chose? I don't understand. Last meeting, Phil said that he was tired of the accusations. These aren't accusations. They're concerns of the community that you haven't brought forth any justification as to why you chose Mr. Ziegler's non-existent business for this community to pay over $250,000. So please explain, board. Why did the board decide to use a professional service contract or over a construction agreement? After all, the fence is considered a construction project. I'm simply asking, and the community would basically like an explanation. Why would you sign a contract that referenced Pelican Landing under Section 9 instead of Stony Brook Estero? Are you guys not reading the contracts that you sign on behalf of the community? After I submitted a public records request, you guys have only provided one of the subcontractors that 4 Fence and Gate used. Does this mean you still have no knowledge of the other subcontractor and have no required documentation on file? Have you guys ever taken a moment to think about why our first fence was a 6-foot pole fence buried 30 inches in the ground with 42 inches above ground, which clearly took into consideration that the preserve is classified as wetlands? Why did you guys not look at the original permit? What makes you think that an 8-foot pole buried 24 inches in the ground and 6 feet above ground is comparable to the previous fence? I simply just want to understand. After all, wetlands are typically required a deeper depth for fences, and by skipping hiring an engineer, I fear that we as a community paid a ton of money for a fence that won't last, not to mention that it wasn't even permitted to begin with, or properly permitted. This doesn't make sense to me or to many members of this community. Please explain yourself today as a concerned member of this community and as a community that is funding this project.
Anybody else with any public comments? Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. The candidates for the position that Phil Simonson has resigned from, we have 2 candidates that were interested. Chris Larson, do you want to come up and speak with us, please? Board, you've all seen his resume, and do you have questions for Chris? Well, first of all, Chris, why don't you tell us why you're interested in being on the board?
So my name's Chris Larson, and I live on Brixham Run Loop. We also have a property on Lancaster Run. So I've participated online. The board meetings through the HOA and the CDD are, very. They're open for everybody to see, but I work full-time, so I manage to put in my efforts to listen to everything. I've listened to every meeting since we moved here, and that was like 2.5 years ago. So, in dealing with that, I've participated in outlining things that I was very pleased with in the neighborhood. I've been very attentive to the things that have been caused problems. I haven't voiced an opinion. I've kind of played on the sidelines. So when an opportunity came up to support Kyle in his role as head professional. I felt like he needed to have a chance, and I wrote a letter and I spoke on his behalf, and he's done a fantastic job, and I think you guys made the right decision bringing him on board. And it's been a really good experience for the golf course. Between him and John working together, I think the product that we're putting out is fantastic. So when the need came for this position to be filled, I thought about it carefully, and there's a big time commitment. I don't exactly know the understanding of what is involved with the job and how much time commitment it's going to be, what my responsibilities would be. But in that same manner, I do have ideas moving forward, and I think as a resident who plays a ton of golf here, like to the tune of 3 to 4 days a week, either I'm working out at home, or I'm doing chipping and putting, or I'm playing with other friends of mine and through the league. I believe that I could have some valuable input to the course renovation, and I know that Phil Simonson was involved in that process, and I don't know if that's what this position would entail to move forward, but that would be the role that I would love to participate in. And then also spotting things through the neighborhood that I haven't really shared through public comment, but I would love to be able to communicate those things. I think from the common grounds, I think we could really do a better job on some of the things that are outstanding. So that being said, my background is in business. I had a painting contracting business for the better part of 15 years. I've worked in sales. In my current position, I've been there for 10 years as an estimator. I didn't include that as part of the cover letter because I figured we'd have an opportunity to chat more about it here. So that's kind of what brought me to this. I had a nice conversation with Adam. He supported the idea of coming to put in my name into the mix and see what we could do.
Okay. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, actually, because I thought you were retired since your resume stopped at 13. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, my bad. So 2023. So what are you, estimator?
I'm an estimator for a Fortune 1000 company, and I do multifamily estimating for insulation. And my work is remote up in North Carolina, so it affords me the opportunity to work from home, which is fantastic. I rarely leave the neighborhood, and we went from a 2-car house to a 1-car house, and you'll probably see me riding around on my bike with my golf clubs and stuff like that. So,
How long have you lived here?
right after Hurricane Ian. So we moved in. We did a renovation on the house. It took about 2 months, and then we moved in on December 19th of 2022.
Okay.
We love the neighborhood so much, we said, there's a good investment. We went ahead and bought a condo as well.
How long have you been playing here, Chris? Longer than that?
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say, we played a year well beyond before that. Okay.
As far as golf goes, I've played all over the county, but I've been in Stony Brook probably back in, I don't know, probably 2010.
Yes, I just didn't realize you didn't live here. I thought I assumed you were
Okay, I don't have any questions.
I got one, Chris. What do you think are like the top 2 or 3 things that the CDD needs to address, and what skill sets do you have to help us address them?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, the conversation came up in the last meeting regarding, oversight of contracts and administration. And I think that in that arena, having contracted as a painting contractor and negotiating with people, it's an extra step that has to be taken to do the diligence and look at all possibilities to save the community money. Whether it's $50 a house or whether it's $1,000 a house, it makes a huge difference. So in that regard, having dealt in construction, I've dealt with a lot of different trades. So I haven't necessarily dealt with golf trades, but the same concept is there. There's a project schedule that gets done, and there's the milestones that need to get met along the way. So I think with that, I could probably add really good value in that regard, as far as just having an outside input as a resident of the community and as a golfer. So I think that's a bonus in that regard. To continue on, forgot the rest of your question.
What skill sets do you have
Yeah.
to address this? I think you.
And the most important things, I also, regarding the course renovation, I want to make sure that all parties that are living on the golf course understand exactly what's going to be done, so that they don't have questions that come in after the fact to say, I wasn't told. So that would require community involvement, survey, understanding, what their needs are, and moving forward, how do we budget the process? I don't know bonds, but at the same time, money is money. So the way that I would be looking at an opportunity to work with somebody that's doing development is, as we discussed, is a menu of the items that we want to choose from, and what kind of discounts get done if you do the whole package. So we do that a lot in our insulation business. We do more than just insulation. We do gutter, soffit, fascia, and all that. So we break all the parts and pieces apart, and then we go to the general contractor and come together with a scope of work and say, hey, look, we'll discount you if we put the whole package together. And it's a nice opportunity to sell.
Thanks for stepping up.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming here. And I would just say, there's two of you, there's one position. And even if you're not, the one selected, you can still be on the committee for the golf course renovation. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah, thank you for.
Yeah, I think as far as the renovation, there's just always been question marks in my head. I'm a very visual person. I work with plans every day. I have a 36-inch screen that I'm looking at plans, and so when I'm thinking about a course renovation, I kind of want to see the drawings. And at this point, I haven't seen anything, and we're talking about...
You're working on that.
We're kind of going into contract and having a plan moving forward, yet, there isn't a vision in my mind. So I would love to be a part of that.
Okay.
I have a question. As a frequent golfer, you said you're here 3 or 4 days a week. I think the proposals we're raising the resident rate for next year. I think going, what, $100? $99. So how do you feel about that? I know that's a pretty significant jump. I don't play a lot of golf here, so it doesn't affect me, but I assume that frequent golfers, it might.
Excuse me, so you're not supporting this, Phil? I'm only kidding.
Just getting perspective from the neighborhood.
Only kidding.
So as far as golf goes, the advantage of being a resident, now I know that things have been tweaked as far as tee times, advanced tee times, the rate. There's a lot of pressure for tee times. Some of the things the challenges that I face are being closed on Monday, going in on Tuesday, there's a league. I don't play during the day, I play at 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock till dusk, that works really, really well for me. But, Wednesday there's the Spark League, and then, so there's like conflict that I've got to deal with. So, I wind up going in and working with the guys and say, hey, can you fit me in somewhere? Where's the hole on the course? Hole 14, start there. I mean, I know that's not traditional in how we do golf, but when you play as much as you do, you get to know people, and it's like, it doesn't hurt anything to go to that spot. As far as the rate goes, the rate goes up, and it's a dynamic pricing for everyone else. So if we're having 100 and, what is it, 105? 99 plus back. So that's for the morning rate at the premium tee times. So at 4 o'clock, it doesn't bother me. That's not the rate that I'm going to be paying. So, but as far as other people that play, I can see the argument that, hey, this is a substantial increase, but to me, I think it's fair. I think it really is fair. I think you guys have done a good job on that.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom Sarazinski?
My name is Thomas Rosinski. I live on Bellhaven Way. Been there, lived in a villas in Port Rush for about 12 years and moved over about the last 5 years. So I've been here about 17 years. The reason I like to be on a board is I like to maintain the quality of life that we have and protect our property values. That's one of the two biggest reasons I like to be there. I know Phil just asked a question just about golf. I'm I'm on the Golf Renovation Committee. I've been there since the beginning, and I'm also on the committee for the Wednesday Men's Golf League also. I golf here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the winter. I golf Monday with a PGA pass somewhere else, and I golf Wednesday and Friday here, so I'm here 3 times a week. Plus, when I'm walking, I usually stop in the pro shop to say hello to everybody and everything else. I think, I worked in the supermarket business for over 30 years. I had my own business. I worked in it almost all my life. So I had a bunch of opportunities to, work on financials, budgets, construction people, vendors, contracts. I like to see what's done here in the landscaping-wise, infrastructure being done here. I served on a board in the hospital committee, on the Lakeshore Hospital Board up north for, maybe 15 years. I was on the executive committee and the finance committee and the foundation, which I'm still currently, even though I'm in Florida. And I also served at the bank and Evans Bank Advisory Board for over 9 years. I don't know anything else you want to know about me, just ask me questions. If you ask one question about the rates, as far as I know about the rates, my feeling is that we started off at $145 for non-residents last year, and we dropped it to $125 for non-residents for league rates. Our rate was $85 last year. I know it wants to go to $99 this year. Being in the Wednesday League with over 100 golfers that are in the Wednesday League, I've had many, many complaints about the resident rate. That we pay over $1,400 for our CDD board members. I've had some members think we should play for free. But anyway, my suggestion was, if I was going to bet, I'd like to just raise this $4 to $89, which seemed to be acceptable to a lot of people, because the rates they pay, and they say these people come out of non-residents, they pay $125. That's a pretty good rate for them, compared to $99 for the residents. So any other questions you have, I'd be more than happy to answer.
He answered mine, so.
Having sat on the renovation committee, like what 1 or 2 things do you see that need to be improved upon as we come up to the golf course renovation?
Well, I think with Kyle and John and Phil on the board, we've talked a lot about changing different holes, making it more accessible. Right now, before it used to be length of play. Everybody wanted to play long courses. Now we want to go the rate of play. Pace of play. Pace of play. So we're eliminating some sand traps, configuring quite a few holes. It'll be a different golf course when you see it. We're actually going to have one Arnie Palmer hole. There won't be any sand traps at all on hole number 11. So it'll be a little bit different. And you're asking me what I think the improvements that are being made, especially in irrigation-wise, instead of the irrigation just going boom, 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 with all the new heads that'll be pinpointing specific places to make this thing more advantageous to a golfer.
One question with the renovation, have you discussed the 18th hole with the, as I call it, our swim club?
That's all happens.
Yes.
That's more John's thing, but it happens to be there's different things that he just can't do at this point to make the ponds go away, but it's going to be corrected with the renovation.
Okay, as long as that's part of the process, because, I mean, in season, I've referred to this as Stony Brook.
Irrigation's a big thing.
Yeah.
Big things that we change. The biggest thing, probably the most expensive thing, don't you think, John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the irrigation. So with the, as we asked Chris, what are the top 2 things that you would think you need to be done? Chris had said contracts.
Top 2 things? Well, I just like to protect the property values of the community. That's all I like to do. I like to keep like I said, maintain the quality of life that we have here with all these new wild blues and verandas and corkscrew shores, and we have a great community here. I mean, we have access to the outlet malls, we have restaurants, we have shopping. I just think it's a great community to live in, and we've done a great job of maintaining the cost to the community, to our people. And I think you have to keep up with the Joneses, because you want to keep this place attractive and have people coming in, especially, to help out the cost of it, keep it going.
Okay, Chris?
Are you full-time?
Full-time.
Full-time resident?
Full-time resident.
Retired.
Retired.
Okay, I just...
A golfer.
Sure.
Adam?
Nothing else?
Bill? Okay, all right. Thank you, Tom. Okay. Having listened to both of them, both very good. I wish we had 2 seats on the board, which we don't. I would like to make a motion to accept Tom Sarazinski on the board.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Oh, well, first we have comments.
Yes.
Comments, sorry.
I really like that Tom has, stepped forward, he's run for the position. He didn't win, re-election, if you will, this last November, and all the while, he's stayed involved in the golf course renovation, project as an active member of that committee. I also feel, Chris brings a new perspective, really good ideas. I would love to see, if Tom moves forward, Chris get onto the golf course renovation, because I think his ideas are fantastic. I think we've got two great candidates, and I honestly don't think it's going to be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough choice. Tom, how long were you on the board?
2 months.
Yeah, it's like you had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was July to November.
I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, I don't think it was even more than 6 months.
No.
Keep them asleep more.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was July or August to November. It was a short
I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot to run, and that always holds a lot of weight with me, because to run, to actually go through the process, go to Lee County elections and fill out the paperwork. I mean, that obviously you have desire to be involved, but to Adam's point, I mean, you've maintained involvement, so I mean, that's a good thing for us. I don't know, I'm kind of on the border because of the same thing. I kind of think Chris does bring a new perspective. But you can't really, again, Tom was here for a very short time, so it's not like he's got a, he really had it, he was just kind of getting familiar with how things work,
Okay.
Yeah. Great.
So we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tom, you're on the board. And Chris, I would, since Tom will be part of the renovation as a board member, I would ask you to be the resident participant on the renovation, and Tom can give you, or John or Kyle can give you information of when the meetings are, and to meet with Gordy Lewis and to go through all that stuff, because I do think you have a lot of good ideas, and again, you supported Kyle, and again, we've gone, 100 miles ahead of where we thought we would be at this point. So would you be willing to participate? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Love to have you on, man.
Yeah.
I think our next meeting is Tom's on October 3rd.
I think it's the 6th.
More importantly, I think the residents would love to have you on, because what you talked about, I haven't seen the plans.
Right.
No.
I haven't seen the menu. It's frustrating for me.
You've seen them, you just couldn't read them.
No, I got a
saw a
sketch.
sketch. Yeah.
I saw a hand-drawn sketch, we got to have something that we can put up on a display and
Yeah.
in the clubhouse to show people what the ideas or what the menu of things are, and I think you're going to do a great job with that, so thank you for stepping
I'm
up.
ready to get a number, or some real hard numbers.
Hard numbers, right.
To really figure out what we can and can't do, because
Yeah.
realistically, I think we all know this, there's going to be what you want and what you can afford. That's kind
Right.
of how life is a lot of times, unfortunately.
And I kept buying those lottery tickets, but I didn't win. Sorry, guys.
So,
Lucky for you, or unlucky for you, lucky for me, I won $4.
But Tom,
Oh, I did get $12. Well, let's put our $16 in.
hey, Tom, can you come on up and take a seat? We'll get you sworn in, put you right to work.
That's right. Okay.
Tom, I provide to you an oath of office. That's the first item on the outside of that envelope that you, and the very top paragraph is the oath itself. And for the record, I'm a notary of the state of Florida and duly authorized to administer this oath. So if you would repeat after me for the record, I state your name.
I, Thomas Sarazinski,
A citizen of the state of Florida and of the United States of America.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
It's the paragraph at the top. A citizen of the state of Florida and of the United States of America,
A citizen of the state of Florida, United States of America,
and being employed by or an officer of
and being employed by or as an officer of
Stony Brook Community Development District,
Stony Brook Community Development District,
and a recipient of public funds as such employee or officer,
and a recipient of public funds as such employee or officer,
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida.
I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida.
Thank you. If you would print your name in the first blank in the oath, and then sign below that, and then complete the lower section below the dotted line and return to me at some point during the meeting or after the meeting. We'll get you set up. Since you have served on this board previously, I'll forego all the disclosures about the Sunshine Law and all of that. Just remind Dave that you are a part of that. Also, if you would like to take the $200 per meeting fee, there's a W-4 there to complete and return to me, and we'll get you set up in payroll. Okay. Thank you. Welcome to the board. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Tom, one other thing, I think, Chuck, what email address will he have for all districts?
He's going to have his seat number.
He's seat 1.
So that,
Seat 1 at Stony Brook CDD.
so if anybody wants to, tells you they want to send you an email involving district matters, please have them send those emails to that seat 1 address. And use that for all communications involving all district business.
And if you should get one to your private email address, just if you would copy me on it so it's in our server as a public record, so.
And from the Sunshine Law and Public Record Law issues, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, give me a call.
I have the Sunshine Booklet.
Yeah, and you know, my approach is very conservative on the Sunshine Law. And I have my mobile number if you want that, so always feel free to call.
What was that email again? Seat 1 at...
Seat 1 at stonybrookcdd.net. It's actually listed on the website too.
They get funneled into the main, so if you email that email address, it comes to the main email box.
Next item, Madam Chairwoman, is because you have now made an appointment, we need to reconsider your slate of officers. Prior to that appointment, we had Ms. Huff serving as chair, Mr. Brady as vice chair, and the remainder of the board as assistant secretaries. You can choose to shake it up or keep it as it was prior to the appointment, placing Tom as an assistant secretary.
I motion to keep it the way it is.
I second. All in favor? Opposed? So you're still stuck. Okay. Well, welcome, Tom. And you will be our representative on the board you'll be our representative on the board for the golf course renovation. So you'll be filling in for it, and Chris will be, yes. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, Johnson Engineering, Mark, you're on. Is this
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mark.
Mark Zorden, Johnson Engineering. Give you a current project update that I'm working on list. First one was the ornamental median sign on the driveway island, as you can see, is complete.
Looks good.
Looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks really good, too. That was a good call. Second project's the driveway and drainage project. There's one punch list item remaining, and that's the sod to fix for the wheel ruts from the cement mixer. I talked with Alex just this morning, and he did forget about it, John. He's getting hold of Hanula to do that sod. All the items have finished, and I'm just not going to pay him that one. We got one invoice left. I'm holding money back until the punch list item is complete. And then we can close that project out. I'll do a balance and change order for the quantities, and at the next CDD meeting, you'll have a copy of that.
That damaged spot was at the four-way stop as you exit on the right-hand side next to the sidewalk, correct?
Yes. No, you can hardly see it. I mean, you really, at this point, got to get out of the car and kind of look at it, but you could see where the pumpkin scraped on the high spot, and there's a couple of minor wheel ruts there, but we're going to take care of it.
Yeah, at this point, let me throw a wrench in the cog, if I will. At this point, if we're gonna keep moving along with sod, I mean,
Can we just get a credit from them?
exactly.
Can we just ask them for a credit?
I'll ask them.
Yeah.
I think that'd be best at this point.
Because you're going to change it out anyway soon.
Right, and they're gonna do like 3 square patches on top of a hill, and then we're gonna come right behind
When
it.
we ask for a credit, we're just netted off of the invoice,
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to use them again based upon past performance and your kind of feedback.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I think at this point, let's just let us take care of it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
As far as long as we've come with
We're
that.
resodding it anyway.
Right.
yeah.
All right. I'll call them right after this meeting.
I almost think it'd look worse if they went and sodded it now.
Yeah.
Than how it looks. Like you said, you almost have to get out,
Yeah.
just caution, and I think that'd be best.
Okay. I'll talk to them about it.
Thank you.
Moving along, we've been working on a driveway entrance sign, looking at it. We've explored it with Signorama out of Naples on that. At the last board meeting, we've discussed a couple of times, actually, the looks of that concrete island and what could be done to dress the area up. So I actually started off the conversation real quick with Paramount Nick, who did the ornamental sign. He doesn't go to the length of these commercial signs. So I hook up with Conrad of Signorama out of Naples. This is what they specialize in. So I've been working with Eileen and with Kyle. They've provided a catalog, and we've kind of narrowed the choice down. He's given us a price on what a monumental sign would look like. And it would have, we've gotten the logos from the golf club and from Duffy's Sports Grill. So they're working up a price now, so we'll have something for you for the next meeting and a concept. And then also what we're going to do is get a hold of the Village of Estero and find out what kind of footing we stand on there as far as an LDO and what we can do before we go crazy with any kind of sign design. So the two things are permitting and cost, right? So we'll talk about that next meeting.
They're going to want their say on the look and feel of that sign.
Right.
I'm sure.
And it's a very simple sign. It's not real high because you can't block, and it's kind of got a rounded top with pillars, and it'll have Duffy's, Stony Brook, and on the back side, it will have our circle with the SB logo, is what we're planning on. But we'll have pictures of it before, they're going to put those together. And if you could send them out, once you get them, and send them to Chuck, and then Chuck can send them to us so that we can take a look at it before the next meeting.
Okay.
Which would be great, but I think it'll look nice. It won't be a real high sign, it'll be enough that you'll see Duffy's, Stony Brook, and our logo on the back, so.
Does Duffy's want a sign?
Oh, they were thrilled with it. Actually, Mark spoke with Chris, who is their general manager, or the regional manager.
Regional manager.
And he was absolutely 100% on board. So I think as you come in the driveway, you'll see both signs, which will,
Okay.
The sign would be potentially replaceable, I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
They are a tenant
Yeah.
10 years from now, I mean, hopefully. So I don't know if we want to start making signs for potential, but I guess.
Yeah.
We might be doing a
You
little
can
bit
change it out.
ourselves, right?
Yeah,
what was that?
exactly.
The golf club.
John
Right.
said we may do a logo change at some point in the future.
Right, so yes, that can be changed out, that front piece can be changed out.
Not trying to
Oh, no,
say
So a monkey
anything,
wrench.
but I think we have to look forward. It's a great point.
Right,
Potentially, they may not be there, and potentially we might change our signage.
Yeah,
To the
so
Brady
we just
Golf
kind of
Course.
slide in and out like a plaque.
Yeah, can you just verify
Anyway.
that, Mark, that like, whatever the design is, it's easily
That'd be
changeable?
versatile.
Yeah.
Like,
Just in case.
you see the Grand Oak shops across the street, if they change tenants, you just
yeah.
do whatever, change a logo.
The only thing you can never calculate is whether or not the village will change its regulatory scheme on a go-forward basis, so, as far as copy size, et cetera.
Right. Okay. All right, moving along. The pedestrian crossing at Stony Brook Golf Drive and Brixham Run Loop. Right now, the survey task is underway with that, and then we'll step into design and maybe have something for you at the next meeting. I'll follow up with the progress of where that's at.
At that corner, the tree roots have been cut and they're above the curb. There's a void there. Is there a plan to finish that part of it as well as across the sidewalk? There's sod missing, like jumping.
John and I can talk about that. And then,
And I want to mention, I asked Mark if it's with the board approval, that when they're doing that, to go ahead and replace this current sidewalks at Port Rush Pool, because they need to be replaced as well. Some of them are different levels, you know, a couple of them have posed a minor tripping hazard, and I think it just looked nice if it was all the same concrete, blended in, you didn't have half and half. It's not much, maybe 40 linear feet, the backside of the pool and the front where it walks up, just to do it all one nice, beautiful.
I agree.
So the
Yes.
plan is to, I guess, maintain that original L sidewalk.
Yes, from the parking lot.
The parking lot, and then have a connector that comes in from the road, right?
Right.
correct.
So the crosswalk would actually go across, it's not gonna go,
No.
crossway to like to the parking lot, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Right, okay,
Right.
all right.
The golf course, the environmental resource permit proposal for holes 10, 13, and 18. We're working on that proposal. The environmental side of that is done. We've been doing a lot of research behind the scenes. There's a lot going on into that and a lot of communication with Gordy. As I understand it, there may be some more trees on the golf course heritage oaks to be looked at. Gordy was...
Yeah, I made that list